Okay, so those of you that haven't seen my live with Rob Kearney on Instagram, there's been a big change at World's Strongest Man with regards to the scoring and the events and the way it's sort of set up. The fans spoke and World's Strongest Man listened. Now, basically what's going to happen now is you're going to have every athlete in the heats doing all the events. There's going to be no second or third playoff. There's going to be no, if you're the leader after 4 events, you're straight into the final. Everyone does all 5 events, which I think is a great move forward, because if a guy's in 4th place going into the stones, he could potentially still make the final. Definitely points-wise, he could even be on half a point behind 2nd place and be in 4th place. So it opens it up for everyone to still have that opportunity, which I think is fantastic. That should have been done anyway, I believe, in my opinion. On top of that, you now get rewarded for performing well in the heats, because what's going to happen is they're going to take the top 2 from every group into the final, and then they're going to score those 10 guys across all the heats events. Now, if you were the best performer in the heats, you start on 10 points. If you were the second best, 9, all the way down to if you were the 10th best performer in the heats, you get 1 point to start. So they carry points across into the final, as in essentially the heats become an extra event. Now, I do think that this makes sense. I personally would like to see it where the heats events count as well. Now, at OSG, the way they do it is they get your 10 finalists and then they rescore every event as if the rest of the guys weren't in it. So you start the final with a number of points. Now, for us in the strongman sport, that makes sense and we fully understand the scoring, but it's quite hard to explain on TV to someone that perhaps doesn't quite understand the scoring. So I think this way makes it nice and simple. If you're the best performer in the heats, you start on 10 points. If you're the second best, 9, and so on. But you do get rewarded for performing well in the heats, which is good for a couple of reasons. Obviously, one, you know it's worth your while. If you're in a tough group and you've performed really well, you get a reward for it. There's no like coasting through. All guys get to do 5 events in the heats, which again is positive. But also on top of that, I think it's finding a better reflection on who's the best strongman. It's not just 5 events now because the heats events matter. I think this is a good compromise. I feel like this is a big step forwards in terms of making it a better competition. There's a lot of sort of talk of World's Strongest Man being a TV show rather than a competition, and obviously there is an element of that because it is a TV show, and that is what makes the show generate money. Now, I know there's a lot of talk about prize monies and things like that. The money's sort of, the athletes should be paid better. World's Strongest Man still pays the most money out of all the competitions, aside from what people say. People say that the other shows pay more. They don't. They pay more for the top spots. Remember, there's 25 guys at World's Strongest Man. There's only 10 or 16 at Strongest Man on Earth. I believe when it comes to the payout, although it's not for the top spots, World's Strongest Man is the highest, and I think that Strongest Man on Earth is second. So actually the one which is the Rogue is the highest payout for first place, I believe. They're actually the 3rd highest payer across all the athletes. Now, I think this is a good thing, that the fact that there's 25 athletes. I know there's been a lot of talk about the lower guys getting paid and rewarded. Well, World's Strongest Man puts money in more athletes' pockets. Rogue and the Arnolds are quite close shop because they use their ranking system, and basically most of the ranking comes from their 2 shows. So you end up with the same guys all the time. It's almost impossible to get in there. That's just my opinion. I think that this is a better way because more guys are earning money. Like I said, World's Strongest Man pays the most to strong men as a whole. It just doesn't pay the most to the top spot. So I think we always focus on that top number, that first place. But actually, there's more guys earning money from World's Strongest Man than the other show. So, there's good and bad in both. Also, I think the way this competition is now, I think with the heats, we're just going to see much better performances. They can sort of cross-reference it, things like keeping track of the scores on each event. You know, the athletes are going to have to look at what the other groups are doing as well. So I think all in all, it's a positive step forwards. All the guys get a fair crack of the whip to get through to the final. There's no like, oh, you know, I could have still made the final, but I didn't get the chance to. That's gone. You don't get to rest for the first place guys, so they're almost going into the final with an advantage because they've done one less event. I mean, all in all, this is a good positive step forwards. I'm definitely glad that this is something they've implemented. So, what's your thoughts? Obviously, perhaps this might not be for everyone, the way they're doing it, but I believe it's a big step forwards. I think that the whole point of us doing strongman is to find the strongest man across the board, not just in a few areas. And I think that this helps to do that because they're now being rewarded for performances across 10 events, not just 5. So, yeah, what's your thoughts, guys? Do you like this as a positive step forwards? Do you feel like it is? Is it something you'd like to see implemented moving forwards? Same with all the guys doing the stone medley. I think that's a big step forwards. More TV time for the guys as well, which is always a good thing because more potential to earn sponsorship. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts. Thanks for tuning in, and I will keep you updated with as much information as I can moving forwards.